Good morning. A very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to begin today's program. I request all of you to take your seats and kindly keep your mobile phones in silent mode. May I now welcome the chief patron of today's program, Professor Bhaskar Gupta, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Jadavpur University. He will be joining us very shortly. He is on the way. And other guests of honor of today's program, Mr. Odhipnath Pal Chaudhuri, Chairman cum Managing Director, Barman Lorry and Company Limited, Mr. Ashim Kumar Moitro, former Additional Member, Traffic Railway Board, Mr. Rajat Kumar Dashgupta, former Director, Engineers India Limited, Professor Amol Shankar Ray, Adjunct Faculty, Aditya Institute of Management, Mumbai, Professor Alok Mukherjee, Secretary, Institute of Business Management. I request Mr. Obhijit Mitra and Dr. Ashim Ray to escort them to the dais. The Alumni Association of NC Bengal and JU, in association with Jadavpur University and Institute of Business Management of NC Bengal, is organizing the National Seminar on Supply Chain Management 5.0, a paradigm shift in business. Today, we are honored to have amongst us Professor Bhaskar Gupta, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Jadavpur University as Chief Patron, Mr. Odhipnath Pal Chaudhuri, CMD, Barman Lorry and Company, Mr. Ashim Kumar Moitro, former Additional Member, Traffic Railway Board, Mr. Rajat Kumar Dashgupta, former Director, Projects, Engineers India Limited, Professor Amol Shankar Ray, Adjunct Professor, Aditya Institute of Management, Mumbai, Professor Alok Mukherjee, Secretary, Institute of Business Management, as guests of honor. Thank you all the dignitaries for your presence. According to the Indian tradition, on any auspicious occasion, we seek the blessing of the Almighty. Keeping this tradition, may I request Mrs. Shubha Mukhopadhyay, Mrs. Meeta Chat Mukherjee, and Mrs. Mithu Singhorai to render the Vedic chant.
Sarvatra Shukhinah Santu Sarve Bhavantu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhamapnuyat. Om Shanti Om Do Shanti Antarikshang Shanti Prithvi Shanti Apaha Shanti Aushadhaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishedevaha Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvang Shanti Shantirevaha Shanti Shamaha Shantirehi Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Purnamadaha Purnamridang Purnamudachyate Purnashva Purnamadaha Purnameva Avashishyate Om Shanti Shanti, Shanti. Om. Om. Om.
Thank you, Shubha, Mita, and Mithu for enchanting us with the Vedic mantra. May I now request Mr. Obhijit Mitra, Chairman of the Seminar Committee, to deliver the welcome address. May I now request Obhijit Mitra, Chairman of the Seminar Committee, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you. Very good morning to all of you. We are supposed to start at 9:30, but unfortunately, because of maybe traffic, maybe heavy weather, we are being late. And our president of Alumni Association, he also having a little back pain, but is being running late. So on his behalf, being the chairman of this organizing committee, I welcome you for this seminar. And this seminar is being organized jointly by Alumni Association NC Bengal and Jadavpur JU, and the parent bodies like NC Bengal. Institute of Business Management is an organization run by NC Bengal, and Jadavpur University, from where we are all, most of us are being graduate. So we think this particular subject and this particular topic that we have selected will encourage all of us to look forward for your discussion, deliberation, and looking forward for your kind input so that we can take it forward for the next level of our thinking process and maybe an execution process which as industry leaders thinks about it. We have structured this program in 4 different parts. One part is after the inauguration program, we have a keynote address, and then we have got a roundtable discussion where in generic term we'll discuss about what is going to happen in India and abroad in supply chain. And you know all that post-COVID, there is a sea change in supply chain management paradigm, and there is a paradigm shift. So what we can think of looking for, we have divided into 3 different technical sessions. Technical session 1, 2, and 3. Technical session 1 has been addressing the holistic approach of supply chain and the benefits that is supposed to be given by the well-managed supply chain processes. Second part of this deliberation technical lecture is concentrating only on manufacturing side, and the third part of the session will be addressing to the supply side. We hope all these 4 sessions, and with the able leadership of Mr. Alok Mukherjee in the roundtable discussion, will go somewhere. Thank you very much. We welcome you again, and we hope you will enjoy the entire session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Mr. Probit Chaudhary, President, Alumni Association NC Bengal and JU, to also deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, I am extremely sorry. and apologize to you for being late. It was tremendous late on the road. However, it's my proud privilege to welcome ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, fellow professionals, members of Alumni Association NC Bengal JU, as well as members of National Council of Education Bengal, and students of IBM, and dear friends. As we gather here today, supply chain worldwide are navigating unprecedented disruptions. Global events, technological advantages, and shifting consumers' demand are redefining the landscape. Geopolitical tensions, climate changes, and the cyber security threats continue to test our resilience. Thus, in today's seminar, we would look into the areas of challenges and the risk faced by the industries and how adoption of these appropriate technologies may help mitigate these risks and irradiate these opportunities for the future. However, we know that every cloud has got a silver lining, so modern technology can mitigate these risks, enabling us to build agile and sustainable supply chain. So, it is a high time we explore these solutions, and I am quite confident our expert speakers from both the industry and academia will share their experiences on this score. Thank you once again for joining us. We look forward for engaging meaning discussions, sharing experiences, and uncovering a new idea of methods. So with these few words, we are already behind schedule. I would like to tell you, enjoy the whole day, share your experience. It will help us to mitigate our problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Probit Chaudhuri, for setting the ball rolling. Now there is an announcement. One of our guests of honor, Mr. Odhipnath Pal Chaudhuri, Chairman cum Managing Director, Baman Lorry, is busy in a meeting. He'll be joining us shortly. Now, I request Mr. Oshim Kumar Moitro, former Additional Member Traffic, Railway Board, to deliver his address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed colleagues on the dais and all those present here. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for having me here. The topic for today is extremely important from the point of view of all those who are interested in logistics. Now, Logistics 5.0 talks about a transition from a technological methodology to technology-driven methodology to a human-centric and consumer-centric approach which combines technology along with human ingenuity. Okay, so how do we go from there? Now, as I am from the transportation sector, and I find that there is nobody from road here, so I would try to talk about the role of transportation in logistics, that is rail and road both. Now I think is the chief guest here? The chief guest is here, sorry, so I'll pause for a minute. Not at all, not at all. Most welcome, sir. So I will resume. Uh, Now, as we all know, the logistics cost of India with respect to GDP is rather high. A lot of figures are quoted. I was reading a report which says that it is as high as 13 to 14% of the gross domestic product, which is extremely high. The logistics cost in USA and in European countries, Western European countries, is about 8 to 9%. So there is a huge scope of reducing the cost of logistics in India and thereby improving the efficiency of delivery and the productivity of assets. Now, as far as logistics costs are concerned, the share of transportation in the total logistics cost is stated to be around 50%. 50% of the total logistics cost is the cost of transportation. I was going through a study by the National Council of Applied Economic Research, which has done a very thorough study. It's a little old though. It is a study report submitted in 2019, which has covered a lot of traffic flows all over the country. Say from NCR to Nagpur, from Ahmedabad to Delhi, from Ahmedabad to Bombay, and so on. Now, what they have found is that two important things. One is that the uneven spread of economic development in the country has a very definite impact on logistics costs. For example, if you send something to the northeast by road, it's very likely that your truck will return empty. When the railway sends coal to North India, it is sent in open wagons because of the process of unloading, mechanical unloading. It comes back empty all the way because there is no return traffic in North India for open top wagons. So this is one aspect which increases the cost of logistics. There are a host of others, such as the congestion in roads, the lack of terminals with adequate capacity both for loading and unloading. You will find, if you go to Chitpur, you will find there is a huge line of trucks waiting to enter into the warehouse area for unloading the trucks. Now, that adds to the cost of logistics because the transit time goes up. Third is the lack of warehouse space, the inadequate warehouse space. Fourth is the continuous fluctuations in the price of fuel, which impacts the trucking industry very adversely. Then the poor quality of roads, congestion on the railway tracks, and there are many others, so I don't want to keep on going with the deficiencies in the system. But what I would like to mention is that the average cost of transportation per ton kilometer. A ton kilometer is a slightly, it's a technical concept. If you move 1 ton over 1 kilometer, that's 1 ton kilometer. Okay. So the cost per ton kilometer by rail in the NCIER study was mentioned as 1.88 rupees, whereas the cost per ton kilometer for road, this is national average, there will be variations region-wise, was 2.48. So transportation by rail is definitely cheaper. But the uncertainty of transit time by the railway because of congestion on the tracks, because of freight and passenger trains running on the same track, plus the first mile and last mile connectivity, which has to be done by road, prompts most customers to opt for road rather than rail. It is only the bulk consignments like coal, iron ore, cement, fertilizer, where the railway provides an end-to-end service. That is coal from the mine straight to the powerhouse, which is the production point to the consumption point. There is no intermediate road movement, or from a steel plant to the consumption point. But where there is a road-rail linkage, there, because of lack of this intermodal coordination and intermodal facilities, like multimodal logistics parks, sufficient number, there is a tendency for the people to migrate to road, and railway share in the freight transportation market, it used to be 89% in 1950-51. Today it is only around 30%. And the railways, 80% or 85% of the traffic is bulk cargo, like coal, which is almost 50%, and iron and steel, iron ore, cement, fertilizer, etc., etc. Now, if you are to transit from a supply chain 4.0 to 5.0, what do we have to do? The central government has opened, as most of you must be aware, there is a logistics division now in the Ministry of Commerce. And the first task is to have a database which picks up the data from the rail, road, airways, and shipping sectors and puts them on a common platform so that everybody knows where the movement is taking place. Now, this is easier said than done. As I always say, the devil always lies in the details. The concepts are good, but the devil always lies in the details. Now, the railways, shipping, airways are very organized sectors, but the road sector is dominated by small players, small trucking companies, who do not have a computerized database. Now, the railways has a very solid computerized backbone. When I was in the board as additional member traffic, I used to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and take out about 7 or 8 pages of printout from my laptop. And that gave me a snapshot of the movement pattern of freight all over the country. And then I used to be on the phone for about 2 hours and telling people that, look, for today's job, this is how you go about it. And there used to be a similar session in the evening, and that was it. Whereas when we were in the field in the 90s, and there was no computerization, you move coal from the eastern coalfields to Tamil Nadu Electricity Board to the Mettur Dam powerhouse. If you think about it carefully, you will find there are at least 10 to 12 logistics chains, from the mine to the railway loading point, from the railway loading point, loading into the wagon, then coming to the port, unloading the wagon, putting it on the ship and all that. Now, when we used to have the stock of coal at the powerhouse, the stock of coal at the ports, the ships on way, the carrying capacity of the ships, the amount of coal at the coal mine, and the coal rakes on run for the Haldia port or Paradip port, from where it used to go by ship. All this used to be taken down in a big khata in the morning, and about 2.5 to 3 hours of work on the telephone in the morning before going to office. Because that was your database, there was no computer. Now with computers, it's become so simple. As I said that with the freight operating information system of the railways, 7 or 8 sheets of printout in the morning and you have the entire snapshot of the entire country in front of you. So now if you have to transit to 5.0, you have to go beyond that. Particularly in the road sector, how do you capture the data and integrate the rail and the road data so that the customer knows exactly when his consignment is about to reach? In the freight operating information system, big customers like Coal India, Steel Authority and all that, they have got special privileges. They have a window where they can see where their consignments are moving in real time. In real time, they can see exactly where their consignments are moving. Now, a dashboard is being developed where the stock of coal at the powerhouses, the stock of coal at the coal mines, this number of trains on run for that powerhouse, everything will be on one database and all the players will be able to see the data so that the planning is meticulous and detailed, so there is no excess coal at one powerhouse and shortage at another powerhouse. Okay, so this type of transition is happening, and it is a long way. It has to go a long way before you can really transition into a scenario where the entire database is integrated and where the customer, the producer, and the transporter, they exactly know what is happening and what is required to be done. Now, that is the challenge before us. It is a huge challenge, and I am hopeful that sooner rather than later, we'll be able to surmount this challenge and put our best foot forward to, move to a higher level of efficiency so that the logistics cost in the country comes down. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your informative deliberation. Mr. Adhipnath Palchaudhuri, Chairman cum Managing Director, Barman Lorry and Company, has reached. So I welcome sir on the dais. Please have seat, sir. Please have your seat. May I now request Mr. Rajat Kumar Dashgupta, former Director, Engineers India Limited, to say a few words about the relevance of Supply Chain Management 5.0 in Indian industries.
Good morning. The August gathering over here, my regards. My regards to the distinguished guests on the dais, Dr. Gupta, the Vice Chancellor, and all the members over here. There are a lot of speakers are going to speak on the subject matter. I do not want to just come in the way of them and the audience. I will narrate my experience on the supply management that I faced implementing the project in my career, which spans over about 60 years. I was in the oil and gas and petrochemical industries, and I had the fortunate enough to design the projects from the concept to commissioning of several refineries in this country, as well as the two major petrochemical complex in our country, which has now been taken over by Reliance Group. That was in the year 1970s and 80s, when there was no computer and there is no the technological advantage of doing the project of that nature. Some of the projects I did was actually that time. During 70s and 80s was global economic size. Indian Petrochemical Corporation at Nagothane, for which I was the project manager in charge, doing the project was a complex of the host of petrochemical units, process units, the mother plant being the gas cracker, taking the associated gas from the ONGC Mumbai High and running all the way 130 kilometers to the project site. You'd imagine it was on the remotest place of Maharashtra called Nagothane, which is having a mountainous outcrop of hills and rocks. We are given by the Pollution Control Board that this is the land where you have to build the project. The project, in terms of the installed cost at present value, is almost about 30,000 crores. There are 9 process units, and during that time, it was under the World Bank funded projects. So we have to follow some kind of procedures to fulfill the World Bank the satisfaction. Almost about 20 to 30% was overseas equipment and materials. The remaining are Indian parts where there were no vendors. There's no self-reliance at that point of time, so we had to create the vendors to do this supply of equipment and material. Can you imagine 30,000 crores being the present value of the installed cost of the project? Almost over 40 to 50% was actually the material cost. So huge amount of transportations and movements were there, and logistics involvement were there. There are some restrictions. There are some collaborators who are not only the vendors, the sub-vendors, the external agencies, the ministries, the political leaders, the police, handling every time. And we have to make the movement of the materials from the manufacturing point to the site and fulfill the satisfaction of our customers. So that was the challenge. And in between, you have a lot of other risks and challenges we faced that disrupted the supply chain management, whether it is act of gods like earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, geopolitical situations, labor problems, strikes, handicap of the road movements. You know, some of the equipment are about 3,000 tons load, and that was to be done on intermodal transportation. We built the barge ourselves, and then from the ship it was unloaded on the high sea onto the barge. The barge is to come, and we developed a Mandwa port near the site. So there is the ro-ro operations of moving all the equipment and material. So it was a big, big challenge. And ultimately, your goal was to satisfy the client on time. So you have to remember, since it's the flow of raw materials to the finished goods, including the services like capturing the cost and financing and all those things, and the computer not being there, it was a huge, huge task for the project managers to control the project. So you remember only important 7 C's of the supply chain management, which is, to me, is to connect, to create, to customize, to collaborate, to consolidate, coordinate, and contribute. These are the 7 P's. Of course, there is one more C, that is change. And unless you do the management change of management, you will not be successful. So I think there are a lot of scholars over here who are going to speak. I do not want to take your time more. This is my experience, and I have learned a lot of things in terms of supply chain, which can be written in a textbook, which you will not find in the textbook. But on the practical side, you will pick up those things and learn your lessons for the next project to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your thought-provoking deliberation. May I now request Mr. Adhip Nath Pal Chaudhuri, Chairman cum Managing Director, Barman Lorry, to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody, respected members on the dais and off the dais. So, nowadays, often when I get a chance to speak, instead of starting with a speech, I prefer to recite a poem. So, with the permission, I'll recite a poem now. Sure. Related to the topic, of course. In networks vast, where data flows like streams, supply chains dance with rhythm swift and bright. With AI's hand, we build on future dreams. Efficiency and trust emerge from sight. Through blockchain's chains, transparency we gain. Each link, a story woven tight and clear. Predictive tools diminish risk and strain, while agile shifts embrace what's drawing near. Collaboration blooms, a vibrant thread. As partners unite, their goals align. In this smart realm, innovation is spread, a tapestry of value pure and fine. Supply chain 5.0, the dawn is here. A world transformed where insights steer us clear. Thank you. So the thing is that I am not the author of this poem, so I have requested ChatGPT to write a sonnet on supply chain 5.0, and it responded by this particular poem. And I thought it is very apt to read this poem out, even though it is created by somebody else, because this topic of supply chain management 5.0, paradigm shift in business, that 5.0 is, it is implicit that it is about technology. And earlier speakers have already touched upon how technology is impacting What we do not know is how technology will actually impact. So the role of artificial intelligence, the role of predictive modeling, simulation, these things are going to become extremely important. Already they are important. I think they are going to become even more important as we go forward. So when we look at supply chain as a broad term, there are many different aspects. My immediate previous speaker talked about, in a way, project logistics, setting up a project, huge project, so you have to balance equipment. He talked about creating creating even vessels or things that can move. So that is one type of supply chain management. The other, which is now becoming very, very, I would say, tangible to each one of us, which is what kind of e-commerce and delivery and all of that. So nowadays we are expecting delivery of certain things within 5 minutes, 10 minutes from, say, Swiggy, Instamart, or Big Basket. So now 10 minutes delivery of, let's say, 1 dozen eggs. Those are the kind of things, grocery delivery within 10 minutes they are talking about. So the amount of infrastructure and data combination that can possibly do. So it's a PIN code, let's say, I stay at Shalda 700014. So nearabouts, you have that much information that has allowed them to predict that the most popular things are, let's say, eggs or milk or this and that. And then they are storing an optimum inventory, because these are typically fresh supplies which will expire within a certain time period. So they are storing a certain number of optimal inventory in the so-called dark stores, because the stores are actually not visible. Only when an order is placed, a delivery person is picking up that item and delivering at your home. So there is a combination of physical infrastructure of the stores. There is a combination of optimal inventory. There is a requirement of a delivery person who's moving on a bike or something. Incredible amount of data which is allowing them to understand what is the consumption at a particular circle, and based on that data they are able to put the inventory level. So this entire combination of things, which is a combination of data as well as physical, that is putting together the paradigm which is going to be, and it already is, today's supply chain. So this was an example of a consumer industry, B2C. The same thing is also happening, and will also happen in the context of B2B. We have already read about just-in-time, happened much, much earlier in Japanese world of automobile, where the inventory management and the vendor management used to be so tightly integrated that you are actually able to run an assembly line with parts coming just in time from your suppliers. Now, that was done in an era where they probably did not have that much computers and data, but then the principles of that particular time is what is going to be applicable today with a far more data. Now, at a certain point of time, there was a shift, I would say, towards cost management, and this just-in-time moved on towards even creating supply chains across countries. So China became the factory of the world. The supply chain actually tapped China and all of that. Now, subsequently, COVID happened. Tremendous logistics disruption happened. Then the thought has shifted from just-in-time to just-in-case. So you are trying to build your inventory, your factory, you are trying to create your partners within the ecosystem where you are. So there is a China plus one strategy emerging. So supply chain is also evolving, and in the context of so many different things now, especially if you're looking at the geopolitical crisis and all of that. So the supply chain and logistics in general was not really a mainstream topic. It became and has become, I think, a very, very important topic today. It has become front page newspaper item since the time COVID struck. And now people are probably able to understand the impact. And so how it is going to evolve, nobody knows, but it is very sure that I think once again, the 7 Cs that he talked about, change. So that is going to be sure going to happen. So how it's going to change, one doesn't know, but we have to be ready to accept that change and keep being, as they say, change is the only thing that is constant. So I think supply chain management is going to be changing very often, very fast. A lot of things happening today. Warehouse management has also become automation in warehouses. So there are so many dimensions in this whole concept. It looks like a very simple line, supply chain 5.5 paradigm shift in business, but it has got a very, very far-reaching impact, and I would like to compliment the organizers for picking a topic, and of course, speakers who can really shed light on this extremely important but very complex topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your thought-provoking deliberation. May I now request Professor Alok Mukherjee, Secretary, Institute of Business Management, to say a few words.
Good morning. Respected dignitaries on the dais and participants in today's seminar, I welcome you all in today's seminar. Now, since we are running late, so I will not go in details. So only thing I would like to say that IBM Institute of Business Management, an integral part of National Council of Education Bengal, is proud to be a part of this current seminar. Now, most of you may be aware, but some of you may not be aware that Institute of Business Management, a part of National Council of Education Bengal, which was established in 1906, long back, and the pioneers of that time national movement, that Acharya Satish Chandra Mukherjee, Sri Aurobindo Ghosh, Sri Rashbihari Ghosh, Rabindranath Tagore, they were all key players in that formation. And perhaps this is the place just to tell you that this National Council of Education Bengal, which ultimately gave birth to Jadavpur University, today we are proud of. And today our Vice Chancellor is here, so he will speak on that. So with all this, and National Council of Education, the Institute of Business Management, just to add that we are running management courses, undergraduate, BBA 4 years, and MBA day program 2 years, as well as evening program for 3 years, and the degree is being awarded by Jadavpur University. So I think to the industry people, this may be an information you may not be aware of. So thank you all for your patience. So I would like to close here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enriching speech. Now I request Professor Bhaskar Gupta, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Jadavpur University and Chief Patron of today's program, to deliver the welcome address.
The August gathering on the dais and below it, Jadavpur University is proud to be associated with this endeavor of our own Alumni Association. And as for myself, I represent not only the university, but the Alumni Association also. And I welcome everybody to today's very important seminar. This discussion on supply chain management and 5.0, the new paradigms, sure will provide you with lots of material to move forward, to think about. Definitely, this topic is very well chosen, and in today's perspective, it's extremely important. As our distinguished speakers have already stated, you have come to know how things have changed over the last 50 years or so, from where to where we are moving, and it's reflected everywhere in supply chain management. Of course, I'm not an expert in the field. The experts are all here. In that sense, I am the odd man out. Hongsa Madhya Bako Ye Tha. But I had a little brush with apart from academics also, I had a little brush with the logistics system while I was associated with Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation. That's a Government of India venture, a project worth rupees 2 lakh crores, two dedicated, most probably many of you know, two dedicated freight corridors over the western and the eastern corridors, eastern sides of India. For about 4 years, I was on the board of directors as independent director. So I know what a big task this movement of freight and this logistics. Because just, I wouldn't say I know, but I've just got an idea, whiff there, as was being explained very categorically, that it involves many aspects. It doesn't simply involve some information, something writing down, something moving, something just telling someone to here to there, like that. The whole management is a very, very complex process. And in this complex process, technology, the developments in technology, like all other fields, is definitely going to show us new horizons in days to come through the usage of AI, ML, and basically the big data handling. You know, while we talk about this usage of AI and ML, essentially in every sphere, it boils down to that. While we talk of these, all these things are not at all very novel or very new. In fact, the statisticians worked with the predictive models through regression. At that time, they used some different names, regression analysis. Well, we said regression, but we use the same thing, modeling. But it was there. The mathematics was there. Everything was there. And the neurons started developing from the first half of the 20th century, artificial neural networks. The neural models started developing from the early 20th century, not very early, but it was there, very much there. There had been, seriously, in the theoretical front, there was almost just the same thing, remodeling and putting a touch here and there. So what did matter is actually big data handling, essentially the hardware. Essentially, now we are in a position where we can deal with so much of data. Earlier, we were lost in the sea of data, we couldn't handle them. But now that the hardware is giving us a scope, the capability of handling them, we can hone our skill here. We can use all of these for the logistics management, for everything in this chain, for supply chain management, for everything. So essentially, we must not forget that essentially we engineers have to keep in mind the basic hard engineering. Unless that was developed, we couldn't have come here. And the more we would get development in that sphere, not the software only, rather more in the hardware, the more we'll be able to move forward. There are some um, very promising indicators that we are keeping that in mind, like just a few days back we have come to know how the global foundry is investing in our West Bengal only, in the state. And I'm very proud to say that the whole initiative was essentially moved forward and matured through the effort of, once again, one of our alumni. I don't know whether the association is aware of that or not, but Amitabh Das of Tagore Techno, he was our electrical engineering alumnus. I think Amitabh passed in 1983 or 84. If the Alumni Association is not aware, I am telling them, I'm giving them the information. Amitabh is in touch with me. You please get in touch with these people. And while you get in touch, while you deliberate on all these aspects, I would just like to remind you of one other aspect which I don't know whether you are aware of right now or not. I'm talking of our enhancement of our capability to increasingly more and more handling of information, more and more handling of workload. But please keep in mind that this is at the same time bringing some problems in terms of workload management too, in terms of human management. We get regularly reports of overworked professionals and some consequent untoward happenings. But just the other day, 2-3 days back, from Korea, we got a totally different type of report, which is, I don't know how I would put it, in a sense amusing, in a sense frightening. The first robot suicide, have you noted the report? Have you noted it? Yes. The robot, in fact, it's being debated whether it's robot suicide or it's simply malfunctioning. The robot worked for years seamlessly. Suddenly, it just fell down the stairs and stopped there. So these aspects are there. Then we have to keep in mind, are we creating some AI which is really not remaining artificial anymore? Although I said just now that we knew all these things as a basic models, but what are the real impacts of those models? Where we are moving? That societal aspect, everything has to be kept in mind. So the whole process, just the one thing that I want to stress upon before I leave is that the whole process has to be seen from a holistic viewpoint. Please look at it not just from the viewpoint of some technological cutting corners or making some breakthroughs, because unless we have a holistic viewpoint, we may think of building up somewhere, but the whole process may fall through. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Gupta, for such an intriguing speech. Now is the time for the keynote address. May I take the opportunity to say a few lines about today's keynote speaker, Mr. Amol Shankar Ray. Professor Ray is a senior faculty in operations, supply chain, and general management. He has a vast experience in industry and teaching as an expert in supply chain management. He is an alumnus of Jadavpur University and IIT Kharagpur. He worked in various capacities in ICI Group, Glaxo India, which is now GSK, Dabur India, Gharda Chemicals, and Shreya Life Sciences. He was a former professor in NMIMS and DSIMS. Presently, he is an adjunct faculty in Aditya Institute of Mumbai. With these words, I request Mr. Amol Shankar Ray to deliver the keynote address.
Good morning and hearty greetings to everyone present in this auditorium. I'm very happy that so many people, so many experienced people from industry, from academics are here to discuss about supply chain management 5.0, its implications, and how it could really impact both business in manufacturing and service industry. I am extremely grateful to my alumni, Jadavpur University, and the Alumni Association, NC Bengal, for giving me an opportunity to share some thoughts on this topic to this august audience. So what is supply chain management? Briefly, we are talking about supply chain. We have all seen chain. Chain has number of links. All the links require to be equally strong, otherwise chain will collapse if one link is weak. If that is so, what is supply chain chain management in business? There is a demand in the market. So many products are required, whether by B2B or B2C. For this demand to be fulfilled, we require inputs, raw material, packing materials. It has to be manufactured, and then it has to be distributed. So this cannot be done unless all these links of sourcing, manufacturing, and distribution are equally competent. Army used this word supply chain management much earlier. Soldiers cannot win a war unless they get from their supply chain arms, ammunitions, then they require food, they require also transport. All these things are necessary. In business and industry, the supply chain management concept came much later, when there has been a global competition and there are lot of customers have lot of choices. In 90s, late 80s, 90s, the supply chain management became very relevant. I still remember when I was in Glaxo, I was fortunate to work as a general manager logistics in Glaxo. An earlier system was all different. And we had to see the manufacturing, warehousing, distribution, and also raw material, packing material procurement. So the entire thing came there. We didn't have the opportunity of the computer thing at that time, and we had a lot of difficulties gradually to migrate from so-called non-computer section to computerized thing. We had a lot of problems. I will separately share with you how we brought the computer. Resistance to change was much more. I came to Kolkata to saw that in the Hyde Road, our regional Eastern region office and go down, we can use the computer in the warehouse. There was tremendous opposition from the unionized labor, union leaders. They said, why should we use computers? There is so much of resistance. And then they said, our eyes will start paining. Those were the days we have seen. And we have to agree with them that there will be minimum guaranteed staff strength will be maintained, people will not lose jobs, and there has to be a computer incentive, which was done not only in Eastern India, all over the country. Similar experience people might have. And today we are in a different age. We are looking for SCM 5.0. So I will not spend on those experiences, but try to bring to you what are the various things which are coming in SCM 4.0 and 5.0. We will also talk about that what are the opportunities, what are the examples, and what are the challenges of SCM 4.0 briefly, because we are also having a time constraint. So what we need to do now is looking at a small video, SCM 4.0 and 5.0. Can you please help?
Welcome to Learn Transform. Video is about Supply Chain 4.0 versus Supply Chain 5.0. While many businesses are still in the process of embracing Supply Chain 4.0, experts are now introducing Supply Chain 5.0, the new supply chain of the future. It is overwhelming to keep pace with the fast evolution of the supply chain while also trying to minimize the impact of the global health crisis. But as the maxim goes, change is constant and you need to keep pace with it to stay in front of the competition. What is Supply Chain 5.0? How does it differ from Supply Chain 4.0? How can you successfully and smoothly transform your value chain? While Supply Chain 4.0 makes a clear separation between humans and machines, specifically robots, Supply Chain 5.0 reconciles them. Supply Chain 5.0 highlights the importance of seamless collaboration between smarter machines, cobots, and humans. But why bring the human touch back to the supply chain? The short answer is to enable mass customization, which is the goal of fifth industry revolution. Industry 5.0 aims to cater to the hyper-personalization and hyper-customization needs of customers, which requires the right mix of human creativity and machine efficiency. As Esben Ostergaard puts it, while robots are excellent at manufacturing standard products in standardized processes in a high production volume, adding this so-called special something to each and every product is a challenge where robots require guidance. Comment below and let us know what you think about Supply Chain 5.0. If you like the content, share the video, subscribe to the channel.
Thank you. Am I audible? Okay. So if we look at our country, we are the country having very young population. We have got our people who are in the age group, average age is 28 to 29 years. 67% of our population is between the age of 15 to 64. So we have got some lot of advantage of demographic dividend. Now, under these circumstances, we are looking at how this advantage we can take care of by utilizing the concept of supply chain management and implementing it, SCM 5.0, both in manufacturing and service industry. Now, that's the point which I wanted to bring to your notice. Some of the points we have found that our industry is facing tremendous amount of competition. And it is not only domestic, global competition is there. Now, under this competition, and we have mentioned that supply chain costs is the total GDP is 13 to 14%, whereas in developed countries, it is about 8%. There is another point, if you see the balance sheet of a company, if 100 is the sales turnover, 70% of the cost come from supply chain. This cost is the cost of inputs, raw material, packing material, all the inputs. The cost of manufacturing and logistics, either to go to the business customer, B2B or B2C. Now, if we can improve this from 70%, this will directly get get in your profitability of the company. And the companies will be able to compete much better in the internationally and globally. So that's a big challenge for us, how to utilize it. So that's against the perspective we may consider supply chain management 5.0. I'll give you some examples. Where even in a warehouse management system, earlier we used to look at warehousing as a dumping ground. Today, a lot of technology is there in the warehousing management. WMS is used, pick to light. It has been a great experience for me also to learn. See, we have been learning. I can assure you that over a period of time, it has been always a challenge to learn. I am actually a student of supply chain management. Last week, I took my students to a factory visit of your Seat tires at Bhandup, and also I have taken earlier to Bisleri. And next week, I am taking to the warehouses. Next 3rd of October, I am taking them to a place like SK Logistics, who is having about 5-6 pharma companies, central warehouse at Vivendi, and also the Reliance Digital warehouse. Lot of learnings takes place what is happening in the warehouse management system. You can easily understand that how things are happening. Today, a company has got large number of suppliers, and these suppliers are supplying to the factories or outsourcing parties. From there, manufacturing takes place, and there is an warehouse in the factory. From there, it goes to central warehouse. From central warehouse, it goes to various depots or CNF agents. From there, it goes to distributor to retailers. How do you track what goods are there? Augmented reality and real-time virtual reality, you can find out entire thing is connected with the computer. Any moment of time, any SKU, you may have 1,000 SKUs. Where it is there, you can find out. What is in transit, you can find out. So this sort of situation is coming with the help of technology, and without that, you cannot operate. So even in logistics, there is a big sort of a impact of using of technology, and how this could be utilized when SCM 5.0 comes, which will take care of human-centric things as also against disruptions and also environment consciousness, all these things will come. So today, the emphasis is to make the technology much more suitable for all the industry, all the partners to follow. Today, supplier is no more a inferior person. Supplier is we have to develop because we require inputs. So they are business partners. Selecting proper supplier is a very important requirement. Today, a lot of things are being done in the manufacturing by the outsourcing. So outsourcing people are also partners. They are, how do you maintain that? And at the same time, you have got the distribution. Distribution is not a core competency of each and every company. You give it to a third party. They are doing the distribution. How to manage the whole thing? The technology comes as a big enabler for this. Let us see some of the aspect of SCM 5.0 through some PPT 5. May I see the PPT 5? In my teaching, I always use, it is not a classroom, videos, relevant videos, and a small caselet apart from the PPT and other discussion. So that's the style which is followed. There are eminent management institutes in Bombay, SP Jain Institute of Management. Now, NITI has become IIM Mumbai, IIT Bombay, and also NMIMS University. I have privilege to be associated with them in some form or the other, and I am learning how to teach. Yes, supply chain 5.0. Let us go ahead.
Welcome to Learn Transformation.
Yes. What happened? SCM 5.0. No, no, okay, by the time it comes, let us also have some learning and unlearning experience. Learning is easy. Learning to smoke is easy. Unlearning and relearning is not so easy. Avoiding smoking or drinking after we have learned it is difficult. So today all of us who are at a higher age, we have gone through a particular phase, we have to unlearn and relearn. That's a big challenge for all of us, but that has to be taken. People say then when oh, it has come now. So let us go here. Where is that? Will it work? So why don't you take it? Yes. Here we can see the supply chain evolution. Evolution from 1.0 to 5.0, and let us spend a bit more time on 4.0 to 5.0. In the earlier one, please. In the 4.0, you have a smart supply chain through integration of advanced technologies. In the 5.0, we are coming with mass customization, sustainability, human technology collaboration. So I want to bring to your notice what are the significant difference between 4.0 and 5.0. Between 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, we are not going too much about it. And it is all industry 1.0 to 5.0. From there, the supply chain has to support it. So we are now in the industry 5.0, supply chain management has to support that. Next one, please. Now in the 5.0, if you look at it, this side you have got technology. Artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, primarily. This time you have got customization, your human technology collaboration, sustainability and customization. That gives the vision of supply chain 5.0, where you are looking of human technology synergy, very important. Importance of combining human intelligence with technological advancements for optimal supply chain performance. Sustainability, you have got an emerging technology like, as we mentioned, that parallel intelligence, then your DAOs, and the decentralized automatic organizations, functional models to enhance efficiency and adaptability and continuous learning. My presentation material will be available. If anyone is interested, you can also have it from me. Let us go to the next. Framework of supply chain management. It contains of Internet of Things, IoT, blockchain, and artificial intelligence. There are, in Internet of Things has certain important things. Blockchain is giving transparency, trust, tracking and traceability, efficient data management, and supports supply chain 5.0 goals. And artificial intelligence, it gives on efficiency. We have heard about some of the things from our esteemed speakers earlier. Adaptability, cost savings, customer value, and data-driven decision. So you can see here the various aspects on the SCM 5.0. How do you have a framework? We have given into three parts of it, where you are already going into the technological collaboration, sustainability, and customization. Under this, the supply chain 5.0 framework comes. We will not go into the entire details, but you can see that it is a proven technology which is being practiced in overseas. In my recent trip to Manhattan in New York, where my daughter stays, I was interested to know something what is happening. The Stern School of Business, which is about 7 or 8 world ranking, is located in New York. With a lot of difficulty, I could meet the supply chain head, who happens to be an NII, Dr. Rohit Deo, very famous person. Well, I asked him, what is you are doing about artificial intelligence? He said, yes, we have a collaborative approach. One person from industry, automobile, and one faculty is working together. how in automobile industry, SCM 5.0 and artificial intelligence could be used. Same thing for a FMCG company and a pharma company. The huge amount of collaboration between institutes and industry we could find out there. I think that is one of the area where our country, our academicians and industry collaboration is not that extensive. Maybe some institutes like IIMs and others and IITs have got, but that needs to be more. That's why I want to bring it to the audience. Okay, now in these applications, you have got enhanced resilience and sustainability, human-centric automation, advanced data analytics and artificial intelligence, digital twin technology, blockchain transparency and security, and sustainable practices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the various areas where supply chain 5.0 can be applied. We'll see some of the industry in India, how it is applying. It is very important that Indian industry has to take and adopt these things. Now, companies which are using SCM 5.0, Mahindra and Mahindra. Mahindra and Mahindra has integrated AI and machine learning algorithms for demand forecasting and inventory management. They also use blockchain technology for ensuring transparency and traceability of the products. Incidentally, I want to mention that one of the oldest factory of Mahindra tractor division and other automobiles is located in the city of Bombay, in your Kandivali East, that area. I have been fortunate to have networking with them. I visit them. Last year also I visited. Year before last, this year also I'm taking my students because I teach world-class manufacturing in Jamnalal Bajaj and supply chain management in Aditya Institute of Management. So all the operations specialization students I took there. They have been telling me what sort of use of technology they are doing and they are advancing. Reliance Industries, I think Mr. Dasgupta also mentioned about the use in the your petroleum and refineries. Please come back. The industry employs digital twin technology to get virtual replicas of the supply chain. Then Maruti Suzuki as a collaborative robots and augmented reality tools. Then Hindustan Unilever implemented AI-driven predictive maintenance and IoT devices to real-time monitoring. Amazon uses collaborative robots in their warehouses and work alongside human workers, enhancing productivity and safety. Then DHL couriers, now even DTDC has started using, leverages augmented reality tools to assist workers in complex assembly tasks, reducing errors and training time. They also use IoT. So you can easily see there are a number of Indian companies who are the reputed companies, they have started using the SCM 5.0. So it is very important that we should learn and we should try to introduce it wherever we are working in an industry or in the academic institution to bring these things to our students also. Now, what are the challenges? So you will see in the pandemic impact, all of us are aware, and it has been talked about it, that during the COVID-19 and others, what sort of impact and the human-machine collaboration, sustainability, resilience, and flexibility. Pandemic, it could be earthquake, it could be various other things also. It could be flood. Then war impact. You can easily see now Ukraine war and other works are there, decentralized production, enhanced collaboration, advanced technologies. It has been already mentioned that because of the geopolitical condition, we have not been getting various inputs from China. Pharmaceutical industries, because I have worked extensively there, have been affected. So a lot of emphasis has come so that the bulk drug manufacturing is done in India itself. So these are very, and you have to find out other sources where you can get the material. So role of, in the disruption, it has got a huge role to play. Let us go to the next. What are the challenges? There are a lot of challenges in using supply chain management. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 challenges. Number one is the technological challenges. They are integration of advanced technologies, incorporating artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchain, cyber security, and inter, interoperability. These are the technological challenges. How we could do it. When I was in New York, I found Mr. Biden has not talked. His photograph is there, and something has been imposed on him through artificial misuse of these things. We can have a knife which can be used for surgery and removing a disease. Same knife can be used in killing man. So artificial intelligence may be used by this sort of miscreants, and there has to be some protection against that. So that's very important. So that's a challenge. Second challenge is the economic challenge. You have to have the hardware and software, high initial investment, though prices are coming down, and ROI, return on investment. In business, we are very much interested. If you invest money, what is the return on investment? So those are the areas which is also a challenge, but the prices are following, and sometimes there is no other option. Unless you do it, you are out of business, so you'll have to use it. Data management, data quality, data integration, and data security. These are the three challenges. On this side, organizational management. Most important thing is the change management. How the change management will take place, what will be the skill gaps, and how collaboration can be done. Change management is very important. Unless that takes place, we will not be able to introduce it. Now, you can see one of the major examples where the change took place in, and it's a case study we are teaching in management, is the TISCO. TISCO in early 2000, it's not on artificial intelligence or SCM 5.0, they were the highest cost steel manufacturer in the world. It was in a great loss. And there are two options for TISCO, Tata Group, to decide. Either close the factory or have the latest technology, use investment, and come there. They took the second option. They used three technologies, three T's: technology, total quality management, and theory of constraints. And Dr. Goldratt from Israel, he came personally, and this was started. And huge amount of, out of the 100 people, they will require only 40, 45 people. So many people will become redundant. Out of 45, there would be at least 10, 15 people who have to come the latest knowledge. So how do you take care of it? Without losing a single day, Tata Group negotiated in a place like Jamshedpur and make them agree, and they give them long-term benefits, not only the lump sum money, also other benefits. And TISCO was converted with the latest technology, total quality management, and theory of constraints. 3 se jeet, 3T, the concept, they became the lowest manufacturing, steel manufacturing. I am giving this example that it is possible that we can introduce the various concepts of SCM 5.0 for long-term sustainability and benefit. So this is a challenge for all of us. There are regulatory landscape also, that is compliance, data privacy, and sustainability and regulation. These are also challenges. So we have got 6 challenges. Now, with this, I complete this portion of my presentation. I want to conclude. See, the conclusion I want to do saying the following things. There is also another video which I will skip. That is the magic of artificial intelligence in supply chain, hype or versus reality. Now, I hope this seminar will be interesting and thought-provoking to all the participants here. After this inaugural session, you will have a roundtable panel discussion and 3 technical sessions with expert moderation and experienced panelists. At the end of the seminar, we all will have idea about application of supply chain management 5.0 in Indian industry. We will also have an overview of various technologies for SCM 5.0, as also skills and readiness to implement SCM in India. This thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to share thoughts with you. and it's a great opportunity also to interact with you. Also, we'll continue that during the tea and lunch session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful and extremely enriching deliberation. Now, on the behalf of the organizers, I request Mrs. Smita Mukherjee to present mementos to the dignitaries on the dais. I request Mrs. Mithu Singhoray and Mrs. Shubha Mukhopadhyay to assist Mrs. Smita Mukherjee. Mr. Odhipnath Pal Chaudhuri. Mr. Ashim Kumar Moitro. Mr. Rajat Kumar Dashgupta. Mr. Amol Shankar Ray. Mr. Probir Chaudhuri. Professor Alok Mukherjee. May I now request Mr. Abhijit Mitra, Chairman of the Seminar Committee, to propose the vote of thanks.
We are almost coming to the end of the morning session, and it's a customary to give a vote of thanks. I'm really very thankful to all the members on the dais and also who are present on the floor. I'm not taking any more time on vote of thanks because we are very thankful from our core of our heart. We thank you. I'm not summarizing what has been taught in the morning because that will take a little more time, and we are running late for half an hour or 40 minutes, so everything is getting late. And unfortunately, we have got some pre-schedule of Mr. Mukherjee, and that is where we are getting stuck. So with these few words, I really thank you all giving us the inside thought, and I hope your thought process will carry forward to the next 3 sessions, and we'll really enjoy your presence here. Thank you very much. Sir, may I, sorry, sir, you can come in there. We are making a little change in our program. We are supposed to take a break, having some little breakfast, or not late breakfast, of course, high tea, which has been given by our president, Alumni Association. We are skipping at this moment. We'll have a panel discussion because, and then we can go for a little breakfast and may adjust a little timing. Unless until, if anyone wants to take a tea break, we can organize that, but not more than 2 minutes, if you really want to have a cup of tea. By the time we reorganize ourselves here. Thank you very much. Thanks. So,